Alright, a couple of days ago, Tekedo made a video talking about how lookism isn't really just this discreetly written thing that everyone's saying it is, which I agree with. There were some points I disagree with, but for the most part, I agree with. So I decided, here are 5 things that would actually fix the lookism. Starting off with, how about you finish writing your fucking characters before introducing new ones? PTJ always does this, where he introduces new characters into a series and doesn't finish writing his already existing ones. And he also makes the new characters introduced look like if they're going to have unique stories of their own, but he doesn't do anything with them. Like, as a Zack fan, I actually feel quite disrespected, because Zack's whole entire story is that he was always trying to catch up to Johan to prove that he can be helpful to Johan, to prove that he can help Johan against Gunn. But then for the fight where Zack have against Gunn, he, after reveals, he only came there and fought Gunn to see what would happen if he just beat Gunn. Like, aren't you there for your fucking mans? Like what the fuck? Like, I'm not lying when I'm saying this, but I forgot that Vasco even has a storyline. I forgot he was a character, and most times when he on screen, I just forget he exists. Jay went from being a character who had daddy issues and trying to figure out his family issues now, to just straight up being Ally's wallet, and it kind of convinced me otherwise. I never gave a single fuck about Vengeance, and the only reason I even stuck around and even give a fuck about his character is just to see him beat the ever-living daylight out of this bitch. Otherwise, I do not give a single fuck about Vengeance, and I swear to God, if PTJ ever tries to redeem this man, I'm going to have a generational crash out. The second way PTJ could fix lookism is simply just by being more detailed in his martial arts. Instead of using the same panels, come up with new panels for the same already existing martial arts alongside add new martial arts. We shouldn't be having statements of Gunn being a master of all martial arts, Daniel being a master of all martial arts, but yet they show off boxing, taekwondo, Kyokushin karate, and maybe Muay Thai every once in a while. Other than that, they don't show off any other martial arts. Let me see some kung fu, let me see some jeet kune do, let me see some fucking shit. Other than just the same fucking shit we always see, let me see other martial arts. Like, do you know Daniel can actually use Kalianis, taught to him by Sophia, but he'd use it once in his fight against Gunn. Gunn is shown to be able to use Ton first. Let me see Daniel do that shit. Let me see them do a bunch of other shit. Like, there's Master of Martial Arts, show that fucking shit off. And I'm not talking about only the copy users and whatever the fuck Gunn is. Like, let me see Zack switch between being a boxer and an in-fighter. Well, he can't be a slugger until he get the power mastery, but let me see him switch between different styles of boxing. Oh yeah, and remember when Daniel was full on capable of combining martial arts in the Hunt for Big Deal? Like, why doesn't he do that shit anymore? Here's the third way he could fix his story. By simply adding significant time jumps within the story, along with being detailed about the time that has passed within the story as well. Like, one of the worst things about the end of the Hunt for Gunn is simply that only a day passed and these guys are perfectly fine, up and moving. Yeah, we see them kind of covered in like bandages and stuff, but except for that, they're mostly fine. Even though they definitely received broken bones. Fucking Zack straight up had all his teeth removed out of his mouth. Like, they got injured that would leave them in the hospital for weeks, even months, but no. Literally a day passed and they're up and moving about like if nothing happened. Along with that, being more detailed within the time that has passed and the timeline of your story is a very important thing. Lookism has a very rich timeline, but yet everything is just ambiguous. Lookism has one of the most needlessly complicated timelines for no reason. For example, Chung Liang takes place about 4 years ago, but we weren't told this, so how do I know this? Well, 1 year after Sung Ji's death, we see that Gun and Gu are going around starting to form the 4 major crews, which was formed 3 years prior to the current story. Or the time Gun went and fought Shintaro most likely happened 5 to 6 years ago. We weren't told this, nor is there nothing to back up what I just said, but I do not believe that it happens the same year as Chung Liang, because Gun and James had this weird relationship, which I don't believe they were just formed after a couple of months and knowing each other. Which means this had happened about 5 to 6 years ago, but we aren't told this, nor there's anything in the story hinting towards it happening. Another thing before I move on to the next point, increasing the time between jumps would definitely help with the stakes, because if these guys took months to get better, it would easily fix the stakes of the story, because it shows that they were badly injured to the point where they were just bedridden in a hospital. It would show them being violently injured and harmed and re-establish stakes that these guys could be crippled at any time. Now here's the fourth thing. focus on other characters while an arc is going on. Like meantime in Busan, we can see what Big Deal is up to, or show us what the workers and the White Tiger Job Center is up to at the time, making it a who's who on who we go to follow for the next arc. Are we going to follow Big Deal, or are we going to go after the workers and see what the fuck they're doing? Like, come on, make your world feel more alive. Show us how the Yamazakis are doing now that Gun's in prison. Show us how their lives are going in high school before we put them in gang fights again. Don't just give me one chapter, give us like these little mini arcs you used to give me back at early Lookism to see what's going on with Duke, Crystal, all of them. Now for the fifth and final part, use your interconnected fucking universe. Holy shit, there are so many manhwas that should be interconnected to each other. We should hear about conflicts going on in Gang Book. We should hear about all the shit that the White Tiger jumps and dies. We should hear about Jinho Lee and what Viral Hit is up to. We should hear about that shit instead of just letting the universes seem like if they're their own separate things. Alongside having the characters appear within the universe and interacting with other characters as well, like how Hana did in, I don't know what chapter this is, but at the end of Hunt for Gun. Instead of just having Harjun meet Zack in Questism and in Lookism, Zack is just like never bringing up Harjun's existence, like, oh, this man's mindset actually kind of impress him, or he's taking more off of Harjun's mindset on how we always want to win every time. Like, there's an arc within Viral Hit where they actually go to Incheon because they're chasing like some type of gang, right? Like, you could have the gang actually be taken out by Jake Young or somebody like that, like the king of Incheon reminding us that, yeah, the first gen kings is a thing. They can just wipe out anybody who try to be a threat to their territory. But nah, everyone's just isolated to their own separate universe apparently, just by being in the same universe. That's all for me, everybody. Like, this video actually stressing me out, so I'm just gonna take a lie down and sleep. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to follow / subscribe, like, and I kinda just talk about stuff like this all the time, talk about theories, and I just like to chill. So if you enjoy my vibe, stick around.